Samuel was being unfaithful to his girlfriend. Raquel, his sister, confronted him and he smacked her. Samuel was a very nice guy. He was easygoing, comprehensive, a gentleman. He was dating this girl that everyone felt that they were the perfect couple for each other. Their families loved the fact that they were together, and Raquel, Samuel's sister, was the happiest that he was dating this girl. But Raquel, being an older sister, she knew better, and she didn't like the third wheel on their relationship. Irene, the best friend of Samuel's girlfriends, wanted to always go on the dates with them. Raquel didn't like this. Raquel describes Irene with a very heavy energy. She gave him very bad vibes. She even says that when they cross paths on the streets, she would rather turn around and go in a different way. Suddenly, Samuel started changing. His ways, the way he responded, he became more aggressive. He was a thug, and Raquel didn't like this. She noticed that Samuel on the afternoons would dress up, put some cologne, and leave for hours. One day, she decided to follow him. She discovered then that on the afternoons, Samuel was going out with Irene. Raquel was amazed, but what surprised her the most was the way they kissed each other, they hugged each other. It was with a lot of passion, but Samuel looked different. She was very mad. With a lot of bravery, Raquel that day confronted his brother. But instead of getting the response that she was hoping to get, of Samuel feeling bad and feeling ashamed of what he was doing, he turned aggressive and he smacked her sister. She cried the whole afternoon. Samuel had never heard her before. Samuel had even been rude to her never before this day. So Raquel thought the best thing she could do was go talk with Samuel's girlfriend to see what was going on, if she knew something. She told Raquel that she had also noticed that Samuel had changed a lot, that things were going south on the relationship, and that she didn't know what to do no more. Raquel told her, let's go talk with a warlock to see if he can tell us something. Turns out, the warlock told them,
Samuel is being worked. There's something in your house, Raquel, that you have to look for, because there is the witchcraft that is making Samuel act this way.
He gave them a pink liquid that they have to spray on the witchcraft and then burn it. He was very specific to not touch it with their hands and to be very careful whenever they found it. They ran back to Raquel's house and they started looking everywhere for that work of witchcraft, but they couldn't find it nowhere. Everywhere they looked, there was nothing. The only place they didn't look at was in a laundry room that was empty. They only had there a sink, and that was all. So exhausted of looking all around the house, Raquel told her sister-in-law, let's go see if we see something there. When they got in there, they saw that under the sink, there was a couple of rocks that looked weird, misplaced. So they moved them, and they saw, tied to a pipe, was a red cloth bag. So they were very careful when they took it, and they took it apart, and they found a picture of Samuel, a picture of Irene, petals of a rose, and a honey that they say it stank. When they opened it, both of them started having a headache. They felt dizzy, they felt sick, but they didn't stop there. They sprayed the liquid on top of it, and they turned fire to it. As soon as that thing burned, in the house, they were alone by themselves, but they started hearing noises. They heard a woman scream. Some pictures fell off of the wall. Everything was very weird, but they thought that had to be just the energy being destroyed of the witchcraft that it was done. As days went by, Samuel went back to being the same guy that he was before, but one day, they heard a knock on the door. It was Irene. When Raquel saw her, she was very surprised because Irene had a burn on her face. She told her, I'm going to avenge what you did to me. This is not ending here. You're going to see what I'm able to do. And she spit on Raquel's face. Raquel, being disgusted and surprised of this, she closed the door on Irene's face and went back to wash her face. The next day, Samuel fell off his bike. He didn't kill himself, but he ended up on the hospital with very bad injuries. Samuel's girlfriend was fired from his job, and they accused her from stealing. They pressed charges at her. She was able to prove her innocence, but she's still without a job. And Raquel ended up on the hospital because one day she was making coffee. She had a pot with boiling water on the stove, and while she was walking close to her, it was as if someone had thrown a pot to Irene, and her whole leg was burnt. Raquel ended up saying that she went back to see the warlock. Now it's the three of them working with the warlock to get revenge on Irene's. And if they cannot return what Irene is doing, they at least wish for the evil to be dealt with. And this is something horrible about witchcraft. Once you know that it's able to do and that someone is attacking you, if you start playing this game of a boomerang where you send it back and come back and send back and come back, it's gonna end up really bad because this is not going to be over even after any of them is passed away.